Hey everybody, this is a peppy special video here on YouTube tonight. This is going to be a little bit of an explanation regarding the soursop tree, the flowering process, and how these trees are pollinated. So here we go. Trees. One of the things people need to know is that the flower is a hermaphrodite flower. That means that it has, on the same flower, it has male and female organs. Okay. The flower is going to have 6 petals. So you can see here, these are the outer petals. Now I have forced this out. I've been here working on this flower for a little bit, and it would have been more in this phase before I started the video. So these were open, the outer petals were open, and the inside petal was open very, very slightly. So there's a very small aperture here, very, very tiny aperture. So the reason I'm showing you this is because natural pollination, that means pollination by either wind, insects, and potentially by rain, things that happen in nature without man's interference, that would be natural pollination. Now as I separate the inner petals, inside you have, in the center, and I'm using both hands, the camera's on a tripod, right there in that tiny, smaller section in the center, surrounded by the more yellowish, creamy along. Let me see if I can show you. Okay, so let me try to do it this way. Right here, this is the female, right there. That's the stigma. Now, tomorrow morning, this will probably be somewhat sticky. It's not sticky at all, not right now. But in the morning, the stigma of the flower, right there, the female part, will be probably receptive between 8 and 10 a.m. Now, back in here, this mass behind it that's creamier color is actually where the male anthers, or I should say the stamens and the anthers, where the pollen will be. So if this was actually in the correct stage, I could just remove these flowers, collect these flowers, put them in a brown paper bag, and then in the morning shake the bag a little bit, and then go ahead and get in there and look inside the bottom of the bag and separate the male stamens that'll come out from out here, way back here, all this. And then when the stamens fall off, I shake it and I look, and inside that I have a little bit of, well, not a little bit, sometimes it's a lot, there's a lot of yellowish pollen. And I could take that pollen on the next flower that hopefully the tree has that's receptive at stage, say, 3 or stage 2, and I could at 10 a.m. in the morning go in with a small artist brush, thin natural hair like camel hair or something like that, brush, and I could come in there with that pollen and I could just touch the stigma and get the pollen to actually fertilize this flower. Now, the important thing is it's a hermaphrodite flower, and it has the timing kind of challenging for it to actually produce fruit by being fertilized, by being not fertilized, by being pollinated. So it's challenging because by stage 4, which is within a couple days, it will be completely open, and the exterior petals as wide as they can possibly get. The interior will open nowhere nearly this much. I've forced this way, and that's not necessarily good, but it's for demonstration purposes. So this would be probably, and I'll post a picture, I have one there that you can see. This will be open just a little bit down here, okay? And what's going to happen is that the ovary is going to lose receptivity. It will no longer be receptive because it won't be sticky. It just won't be receptive. And at that point, what's going to happen is the pollen is going to come out of here, right off of the stamens in the back. It's kind of open up, and then there they are, and then all the petals fall off. And after all the petals fall off, you have some pollen that may or may not make contact with the stigma, and that's natural pollination, right? But what I'm going to be doing is some hand pollination, and for that, hopefully you'll tune in and you'll learn a little bit about hand pollination. That's all based on the availability of the flowers, so it may take a while to do that video for you guys, but as soon as I can, I'll do the video. And I hope you got a little something out of this little quick video, and I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and stay tuned, because I'm doing a lot of work on soursop. I definitely recommend that if you can get a grafted tree, get a grafted tree, because that's the way to go. All right, I hope I covered a few things that'll pique your interest in soursop. and the pollination and the whole thing with the way that the plants actually produce fruit. Thanks everybody. Have a great one.